My name is Fatin Farzana Huda binti Azizi, matric number 2023851896, code CAAD 252, Visual Culture Studies. In this video, I will talk about the surrealist artist Andrew Breton. Who Andrew Breton? Andrew Breton is an extraordinary art provocateur, is a surrealist writer and poet. He is known as the father of the surrealist art movement. Andrew Breton was born on 18 February 1896 at France. He died on 28 September 1966 at Paris. Breton studied medicine, complete basic military training in 1915. He served in the French Medical Corps during the First and Second World Wars. As a medical student, Breton was interested in mental illness. His reading of the works of Sigmund Freud that he made in 1921. Sigmund Freud introduced him to the concept of the unconscious. He was heavily influenced by Freud's thoughts, especially his interpretation of dreams. Andrew Breton, the founder of the movement and author of the Manifesto of Surrealism. The most famous Andrew Breton works include the Surrealist Manifesto, the novels Naja and Mad Love. In 1921, he married with Simon Kine, the first of his three wives. The Parisian apartment they moved into eventually housed Breton's collection of more than 5,300 valuable artistic works, including paintings, sculptures, drawings, and more. Breton launched the literature review with the poets Louis Aragon and Philippe Saupault in 1919 and had found the Bureau of Surrealist Research in 1924. He was a prominent member of the Dada group. How the Surrealist movement is perhaps most commonly associated with dream-like paintings. It actually began as a poetic movement. Breton developed the movement as a reaction to what he saw as societal oppression and moral bankruptcy on a global scale. The publication List Charms Magnetics was the first ever work of literary surrealism and was a collaborative work with Saupault. Surrealist was published in 1924 and he built up an association with various well-known writers including Saupault, Aragon, Antonin Artaud, and Paul Eluard. In 1927, Breton joined the French Communist Party at a time when Andrew Breton art was focused on fusing Karl Marx's politics with the poetic philosophies of Arthur Rimbaud. He was eventually expelled from the party 6 years later. He supported himself by selling paintings at his art gallery throughout this period. In 1935, Breton was embroiled in a showdown with the Soviet writer Ilya Ehrenburg at the International Congress of Writers for the Defense of Culture in Paris. Breton and his surrealist associates had been branded pederasts by Ehrenburg. The surrealists were barred from the Congress after Breton slapped Ehrenburg repeatedly in public. Breton was again recruited by the French army as World War II was breaking out, but his writings were banned by the Vichy government, which dubbed his work the very negation of the National Revolution. However, Breton escaped from the army and fled to North America and the Caribbean in 1941. He later collaborated with the writer and poet Henri Cizet and met his third wife, Elisa Bindorf, during his time in New York City. Henri Breton's art writing was heavily inspired by the work of the painter and Voodoo Prize Hector Hippolyte during the late 1940s, resulting in the occult playing a substantial role in his surrealist musings. He also developed a keen interest in anarchism around this time and condemned French colonialism. He lent his support to a wave of young, upcoming surrealists via reviews and expositions during the late 1915 and early 1916. In 1966, Breton passed away aged 70. Although he was forced to sell a substantial portion of his art collection in the early 1930s due to financial problems, he later rebuilt the vast majority of it at his studio and home. Eventually, the Henri Breton art collection grew into a library of over 5,300 items, including various works of oceanic art and numerous unusual objects from around the world. Thanks for watching my video.